So in conclusions, I believe and the reason for Japan and the US and the other developed countries' desire to adopt digital trade rules have not changed. In other words, the reason developed countries want high digital trade discipline is because of the consensus of Japan or US like-minded countries or need to eliminate or reduce digital protectionist or digital authoritarian market distortioning data governance with China in mind. So, in which international forum should the US and Japan achieve a high degree of the discipline in digital trade? As I mentioned earlier, the formation of the multilateral rules has been parallel not only between developed and developing countries, but also between the US and the EU and Japan. Under such circumstances, a regional agreement that include high digital trade discipline, such as the CPTPP, has emerged. But I think the US participation in the CPTPP is really difficult at this moment due to the domestic political conditions or reasons. So deeper might be the one of the choices to Asia Pacific countries. But as I mentioned, however, I believe that there were a number of the issues or problems with deeper. Next please. So again, which international forum is appropriate as a framework for digital trade? It is very important that the US propose the IPEF in order to contain China from establishing an economic order in the Asia-Pacific regions, while China has applied to join the CPTPP. It is very important that the US propose the IPEF in order to contain China from establishing an economic order in the Asia-Pacific regions, while China has applied to join the CPTPP and deeper. China needs to actively participate in the, not China, Japan needs to actively participate in the IPEF and consider working with the US to move, to improve market distortion practices of China. However, it is questionable whether the IPEF can establish rules for digital trade that retain the same high degree of the discipline as the three digital trade principles in the CPTPP. Currently, as I mentioned, it is difficult to expect that the US to return to the CPTPP, as I mentioned, because of the domestic political conditions. However, one of the motivations for the US or Japan to actively promote the CPTPP the TPP in the first place was its strategic importance in order to contain China's digital protectionist measures. The CPTPP has the potential so that the Japan needs to persistently persuade the US government to return to the CPTPP. Okay,